Kanjalo nje. Why don't we go ahead and introduce our newest and best partner in crime and success and whatever you want to call it, a wonderful lady who is really focused and dedicated on how does she thrive in this new world we are living in. And the beautiful thing is we now have the technology that connects us. Katsago, my sister, can you hear me loud and clear?
I can definitely hear you loud and clear.
Unjani kodwa. Welcome as we do this, as we join from 3 different places at the same damn time. Come on, people.
Yeah, Katego. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, listen, before you talk, Katego, let down to everybody that might that will be listening or watching this. Me and Tata, we figured, in order to make this to give you guys a good show, let's bring somebody that is very dedicated and very focused, and somebody who can actually make us sound good. So today we brought you a producer.
So let's explain it though, Kuli, because when we started the Home Away show a few years ago, we had some great hosts that we were with. We did everything. We were the producers, the directors, the presenters, and I think Ukula is always a beautiful thing to see how you could take something to the next level. And it's always great if you can find somebody who has a vision and dedication as well. And that's what I think was impressive to me as you introduced me to our producer, our sister, and just the hunger and just the absorbing of information, but also a plan and not being afraid to say, hey, gents, you sound great over here. Got the need to shift the left, to shift the right. So it's such a beautiful thing that we are talking about here. And also for me, I look at it as, sometimes you hear people say support Black businesses. How do we support each other? How do we reach out and be able to partner up and get creative with ideas? So I'm very excited for this new journey. And this is the beauty of technology, man. We don't have to be in the same place. All Kansas City had to be in the same place. All Kansas, same place. Hey, don't get me started.
Imagine how difficult it was to do radio back then.
But they did it. They did it. They did it well.
Anyway, we can talk all day. Let's let Katego talk. Katego, can you break it down and just let the people who are watching this, who are you? And I know we would have loved to have you on video, but technical difficulties.
Yes.
Who are you and where you based out of and what do you do and all of that cool stuff?
Yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate the fact that whenever I say, we need to put a bit of improvement here, you listen. So like they introduced me, I am the producer of this new show.
Show with no name. Can you just name the show right now? Can you just name the show right now while the listeners are listening so they know what they're watching?
The No Name Show. It's the No Name Show. For right now, when folks have not listened to that show yet, what's the name of the show? The No Name. It ain't got no name, dog.
How do you like that, Miss Producer?
You know what? Let's go with it, and then we'll change it later. It is what it is. I trust you guys, and that's why I decided to come on board and just thrive with you, to grow with you, because this is like so exciting for me. Also the fact that we're not in the same spaces, but we can be together. It's such a beautiful thing, and basically, I am a lover of life. I'm just a bubble, full of energy, and I'm ready to give to the listeners, to share. Like, let's just share. Let's just give a bit of positivity. I think we need that after having to deal with the pandemic and everything. I think a bit of positivity on everybody's side is needed right now.
Yeah. Amen. Love it. Love it.
If we were to take quotes, what I would take as a quote, Kantago, is you said you are a lover of life. Man, if we could introduce ourselves like that in life and just say, hi, my name is Ntate and I'm a lover of life. That sounds so beautiful. It goes with one of the quotes that, when people say you only live once, and it says, no, we only die once. We live every single day. So as we go ahead and kick things off, I encourage you to just think about that. Be a lover of life and don't only live once. You're only going to get to die once. Live every single day. It's a beautiful thing.
Wait a minute. And Katego, can you tell them though where you based out of?
Yeah, right now I'm in Mpumalanga, but I'm actually based in one of the oldest townships in South Africa, in Alex. That's where I live most of the time. So right now I'm just in Mpumalanga. So it's quite interesting because I have this.
You're from Alex?
Yeah, I'm from Gomorrah.
You was part up now. You part up.
I cannot, but obviously I have my bodyguards. I don't have to do it.
Big Zulu wena. I'm my bodyguard. Kuli, when you say Okapu, it just reminds me of what we grew up seeing as a kid. In South Africa, in the streets of South Africa. So for those who don't know, not that we're plugging violence here, but Okapu was a means of protection for so many people, my brother. That's your statement too.
Even to the police. Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
Listen, let's get on with the show, and our ghost lady or our ghost producer who's somewhere. Next time we'll have it on video. I'll get the perfect picture. You guys will see it. That I think if we can just get started. You said you wanted to talk about working at home and homeschooling and all of that cool stuff. The Zooms and all of that stuff. And Katego too is going to give her perspective. Let's start with you, Ntat.
No, I think, Kuli, such a great segue. And Katego kind of touched on it already, right? As we were joking about our name of the show. And I gravitated towards what she said, which was, you know what, we'll name it No Name for right now. We can change down the line. And I think of that as what we've all had to do, which is be ready to pivot at any moment. What has happened in the world in the last last year, really, is a total shift, Kuli. Never would we have imagined kids having to either be at home to study while parents are trying to work, parents working at home full time if they can, or people just simply losing jobs. So I don't want to be insensitive to all the people that have lost employment, do not have jobs. Their jobs could not allow them to work home. But my goodness, as we thought about current situations and all that we have to endure, there is a shift. And I think, Kuli and Katsego, this shift is going to last longer than we can believe, which is, can kids be successful by learning from home? Teachers teaching them virtually. And can companies still be productive, just as productive, if not more, by allowing their employees flexibility from working from home? It's a blessing and a curse. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I know from my personal experience, I've always enjoyed being in the office, just the drive to the office, that 15-minute drive, listening to morning radio, and then getting into the office, bumping into the same people, the cleaning crew. I'm the type of guy, Kuli, who loves to say hi to Carlos. Carlos was the dude who cleaned the bathroom. Rob was the dude who was cleaning the cafeteria. I miss those people. I don't have that now. However, at the same moment, I have flexibility to be able to pick up the kids from school, take them to basketball. So to this transition, I wonder, Kuli, on your end, how do you feel it will do for the mental well-being of all of us as people, that we are, it's less human interaction. I'm usually sitting in this basement all morning, all day, sometimes not seeing the sunlight. How do you think this will impact just future jobs, right? If you're starting a company, do you start it with the mindset, people who have to work from home, or they'll actually be split, maybe sometimes home, maybe sometimes office? How do you see all this changing and impacting the future workforce?
You know what? Let me be honest with you. I'm just thinking of something right now. You just mentioned Carlos and Raul. Did you thinking it's about time that Mexicans lose their jobs, man.
That's right.
That's right. I want you to, hey, listen, when Americans say we come in here and take their jobs, man.
Hey, man.
They're talking about Carlos and Raul. Hey, but anyway, what has been so positively brilliant to me about this pandemic, really? I shouldn't say about pandemic, because there's nothing positive about that. What has been positively brilliant about people get to work from home, like you said, you start to appreciate more what you do every day when you wake up and go to work. I didn't get that chance, so I've been working because I work at a hospital. So I have to actually get up and go to work.
And thank you for your service. You know, Cooley, we used to say thank you to the military folks. I want to say thank you to those who are now our servers of the nation, right? The people in the hospital. So big shout out to you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Even though I didn't have to suture anybody, you know. I'm just a guy. But anyway, what is been great is just that how you actually get to appreciate all of that. Like you articulately said, Ndate. But what has been stupid, that's just my own opinion, what has been stupid is the way these companies are looking at it as an option for them to pay rent, not to pay utilities, and get these people to work at home. And it's going to minimize, what do you call it? Well, it's going to minimize, what do you call it? Workplace injuries. But I'm sitting over there thinking, why I'm saying it's stupid, because I feel like they really don't understand that human beings, we need to go outside. So let's say they stay like this, people who work at home, they don't really care too much about the quality of life that you're going to get. So to me, that might look like as a plus to them. But if they actually keep it like this, when we all go back outside, it's going to be a bad move. But Diego, you've been working at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, chime in.
Yeah, I'm still working from home. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting shift for me personally, because I do like the outdoors and I also like going to the office. Now I don't get to do that. And I feel like I'm being, like, somebody took something away from me. So I had to, adjust, especially because I'm not always around my family. So that was now another shift that I had to adjust to, and having to tell them, hey guys, give me my space. I'm working here, go over there. And I feel bad afterwards, but I need the peace and quiet so that I can concentrate, that I can do my job like I've been doing it. Because what I believe in is that when you're in, you have to be in it to win it. And meaning that it's everything, whether it's your job or personal life, you need to give 150% if possible. So that's why I had to just put some ground rules even at home, and that's something that you don't really want to do, because when you get home you want to relax. Now your home will now become your office, which is something different, and it messed me up for like a couple of, like, maybe 3 months, and then I was okay, and I was like, okay, now I have to just get used to this now and make it work. So yeah.
Emily, you know what? I'm sorry that I had to chime in with a little bit of stupidity, but I can imagine an American listening to this. This lady is an African working from home in a computer. That doesn't make any sense. Ask for all Americans. Do you guys?
We do have computers.
Have internet in Africa?
Yeah, we have all of that. We have Wi-Fi.
You have Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this is in Africa. Yeah, so
it's a beautiful thing. You mentioned something interesting there about ground rules, that you had to set ground rules with the family, and that what was so challenging is prior to everybody having to be from home, you had a separation of life work balance, right? To say, okay, I'm going to leave everything in the office and go home. And I think that's been a part of it. And that's the difficulty even for kids as they are trying to adjust to being able to study from home. And then if both parents are fortunate to where they can work from home, it is setting those ground rules of, okay, what's my lunch look like? When do I take a break? When do I say, all right, enough is enough, let me plug away and go spend some time with the family? But then, Cooley, I want to touch on what you say too. I think there are some companies who are doing it very, very well, who've adapted to these settings. And these are companies that have been ahead, right? I think to run a successful company over the last 10, 15 years, you have to be thinking 5, 10 years ahead of what could possibly be impacting us. Nobody could have predicted. Well, so data shows us that we should have been expecting it, but nobody would have predicted the monstrous change that took place last year. However, companies who stay 5 to 10 years ahead were already prepared for changing their entire workforce to be from home, giving companies flexibility. I mean, giving employees flexibility, what you may call maybe relief days, to take time off, to say, I need to take Junior to a doctor's appointment. I need to go to a doctor's appointment, or whatever it may be, or maybe I just need a mental day. So there are some companies who are prepared and ready. So what you were saying as challenges, right? And some companies who may not adapt, there are some great companies who are really staying ahead. And I would urge you, if you are starting a company, start to think about, what does the future workforce look like, to give that life work balance. And you'll notice I don't call it work life balance, because it's never made sense to me why work would come before life, because L comes before W, and the whole reason you go to work is to support your lifestyle. So just keep that in mind. So very interesting. But yes, Gajago, thank you for letting the beautiful people of the world know that Africa is just this beautiful, man, with Wi-Fi, palm trees, beautiful sun. I come from the city of Durban, which is known for 2 seasons, summer and summer, and that's it. Yeah, you know,
definitely it's summer now.
Let's highlight a few important things in history today, because I mean, as much as Africa can be called all these things, but there are some few things that, have made history and made Africa who we are. So I'll just highlight them quickly. I don't know if Ntate knows any of these persons, or even you, Nkateko. Let's start with Petrus Lumumba.
Okay.
Who was assassinated today in 17 January 1961. Where was Petrus Lumumba from, Dad?
If this meant that I would make $1 million, I would be $1 million poorer, because I do not know.
Just choose the African country, dude. What do you think?
Oh, country. I was figuring South Africa. So country. I'm gonna say
Petrus Lumumba.
Mozambique.
How about you, Nkateko?
I would go with Malawi.
Ooh.
Both of you are wrong. So Petrus Lumumba is from Congo, and then
Congo, my way, Congo.
Hey, Congo. Hey, my dad.
Yes, rest in peace, Joe Mafela.
Yes, the next Joe Mafela.
Anyway, and another one I have is Saul Kesner admits to harms commission that he had paid $2 million for the personal benefit of Chief George Matanzima. And what year did you think this happened? I'm gonna just give you the years. Choose one. Well, let me just say it's between 1988 and 1992. Choose the year and that.
87. I mean, wait, you said 88. 87 was my first year Pila Primary. Leave me alone. Okay, that's why I went with 87. Shout out to Oti Shabame Pila Primary. I'm gonna go with 91.
Good job in math. That's for sure. Between 1988 and 1992. Choose the year and that.
91.
91. Katego.
I'd go with 1990.
Both of you are wrong. So so this thing happened in 1989. But anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about, about the quarantine. I know this was just lame kind of things to give.
Good to
pause the brain. Yeah. Let's go back to. I really do. As much as we have so many current events, but the whole thing that has been happening about us doing things at home is very important. I want to talk about the children's side, because that you have kids and they're in school and they get to learn at home. In fact, yeah, you know what I was thinking about? Could you imagine if they would have let us to study at home, Fate?
It wouldn't have worked.
Have been the best soccer player out there. I'll be practicing 24 hours, my brother.
Well, here's the tough thing. When I just mentioned, 87, I'm from the Pila Primar.
Yeah.
Now that's the what hurts me. what hurts me, cool, is that the Pila Primary School in Kulmangayo, I went there when I was home 2017, and it hurt my feelings that in 2017 the school had no windows, there was no Wi-Fi. So I imagine what you're saying, Nguti. Never mind back in our day, even now there are still kids who are expected to, they can't even have good education in the school, how much more when they have to be at home. So this whole thing for me has just made me appreciate the privilege that I have, right? The term privilege is used a lot nowadays when we are talking about racial equality, but I always try to define it as we also have to examine our own privilege. As a male, you have certain privileges, right? Bathroom privileges. If you're on a road trip with your family, you can pull over as a male and trip. What you got short lefty? Usu grand. That's a privilege. I have a privilege, Uti Nganzami, if we can choose and try to discipline and give them structure to do school from home. There are some folks who don't have that privilege because no matter what country you are in, there's no Wi-Fi. There's no there's load shedding, right? Which is where certain countries have to limit the use of electricity. So that really hurts because there is a percentage of young people, school age kids, who 10, 20 years from now would have not had that opportunity to learn. So I wonder what the world will look like as far as we are Pambili, because so many innovators who came up in our time wouldn't have had the same. There's always two sides of the coin. For me, it makes me appreciate everything that I'm able to do for my kids, and I wonder what could I be doing better to help other people's children as well, man. Because this is a tough thing. It's a tough balance.
Man, let's get in Katego's opinion. I mean, her perspective. What's it like for your nieces and nephews in Katego?
Yeah, it's been tough because like Ntate mentioned, if there's no Wi-Fi, if there's electricity, with Wi-Fi you need to have electricity, and in South Africa our biggest problem is load shedding. So when we said that, it hit home. It hit home because it happens every
Katego,
day.
Sorry to cut you off, man. This thing of load shedding, for somebody who doesn't understand, this is something that you see Trump doing it, where you just wake up one day, you know what? I'm going to shut down zone A until 5 o'clock. Open zone 2 and open zone B at 11. Like, think about that, though. You just shut down electricity. I still don't get it.
And with no warning.
Why don't we have load shedding here? Why do they have load shedding and we don't have load shedding here?
I can't explain it. I don't understand it. I empathize, and I have survivor's remorse because every time I've went home, I've always been scared. Uguti, shower load shedding, and it's never happened while I've been home. So I've been blessed.
Mountain the shower, she said, you gotta take it while it.
Oh man, you were saying, my sister. So you were seeing that impact. Is that correct with the kids?
Yes, I have nephews and nieces. They go to school, and now because of this pandemic, they had to go to school on certain days because they cannot do it online. The teachers are not equipped. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and the kids need to unfortunately be exposed by going to school on certain days. So if you are in grade 10, you go only on a Monday, and if you are in grade 11, you go on a Tuesday, and only the grade 12s were able to go every day. And that for me was so sad because even though they were going once a week, what was the impact of them actually getting their education? It wasn't making a difference unless they had someone at home that was helping them. It wasn't making a difference, and most Black parents are unable to help their kids with most of the schoolwork. So pretty much the kids are actually stuck on their own. And that's what the situation is like. And I'm so sad because with my nephews and nieces, at least they have me and we do have Wi-Fi. And I can make plans for them. But what about the other kids? And what about our neighbors and all of that? It's sad. Although you can be grateful for what you have, you think to yourself, what about Umakhelwane? What about Lumtano down the street and everything? So it's just a sad situation But overall, the kids are positive and they do want to go to school because I do conversations. They're like, I want to go to school more. And I'm like, but guys, you see what the government is doing is not allowing you to go to school. And at least the ones that are committed are actually learning by themselves, but the impact is so huge that we don't actually know, because the kids were supposed to open on the 27th of January this year, but now it's been shifted to February. So that's another shift that kids have to suffer now in South Africa.
It's tough, good people. And as I listen to you share, those who know me know how much I love the phrase Ubuntu. It's an African philosophy, Ubuntu. So for those who are listening, it's the first time hearing that term. It is spelled Ubuntu, Ubuntu, and it simply means humanity towards others. I am because we are. And I love that quote because oftentimes in life, we have to realize that we don't live here by ourselves. You don't get the benefit of the resources and the goodness of God's grace by yourself. There are others whose paths and journeys are a little bit different. So as you share this, it just breaks my heart because there were struggles for certain kids because maybe they are liberal arts students, and maybe because they were creatives and performance art students, and they struggled in school as it was structured, and they needed guidance, they needed a structure and routine. So now when you tell me that school probably closed sometime late November, December, they've been home December, now they're going to be home January all the way through February. That means this time that's spent while the parents are trying to figure out, how do I put food on the table? People are passing away. There's funerals. They are being removed from the pattern of learning. So I just want to share maybe some few things. I'm not an expert by any means. And my sister will write, I hate the math. I sit upstairs. Thank God for my wife, who's just the brilliant person that she is and is very smart. Came first in her college and everything. She helps with math because he's tough at math.
Yeah.
But what I would urge everybody is, Nati, let's take a moment. You might not feel like you are doing much, but ufundisa ingane ukuzama. Now uyakhombisa umzali ukuthi uyazama. Even if you get frustrated, ikhombisa ingane ukuthi ngithatha i-break, ngithi 5 minutes ngiphinde ngibuye ngizama ukuyifikarisha out. Let's just do certain small behaviors that even maybe our great grandmothers used to do for us. Those things for me help me in my career because that's storytelling. That's the art of storytelling. So if there's certain things that you can do at home as a parent, they might not be teaching them math, science, or certain things, but do something to teach them. Teach them, when umakhenik, ashaya ispanela, wazi ukhanda imoto. Thatha Junior nisemnyango ubumkhombisa ukuthi ulungisa njani ikoloyi, because that could be something that could help him 10, 20 years from now, as we don't know what the world will look like. So I say that to say, let's, as much as it may be tough to help, we're not teachers, and we surely should be appreciating our teachers at this point and all that they endure with their kids. But now this is a perfect time to really focus on the kids. So when I hear you, Kantego, saying your nieces and your nephews, you are investing time not in your natural born children, but children of the future. It takes a village. So anyways, you know how I get all deep with this stuff. I don't mean to, good people. I just love us. God made us in his image, and his image is loving, is caring. It doesn't come with sadness. It comes with sadness, rather. It just doesn't come with all happiness. This is a moment for us to change the narrative, not disregarding the people that are going to be lost, that we've already lost, that will suffer. But let's live and let's try to teach whatever you can teach. Was ukushawa my fall, uyakhumbula my fall, spin, ukushawa my fall, they might be a future gymnast. You don't know. I'm just making a weird example. But anyways, it's just interesting. So that's what we thought we'd open up with today, is really just kind of welcoming back everybody. Home Away show was about being away from home, but I think we all feel like we're away from home. The home that we used to know, the home that when you look at pictures and there would be people in the background, and now you look at pictures, there are masks in the background. We are all living away from home. What does the new home look like? Our job here, the three of us today, good people in 3 different locations, is to try to create a new home and say, Let's all do it together. Let's all try to find some positivity. There's both sides of the coins. Head and tails have their benefits. How do we try to leverage those?
Listen, before we leave, I'll just kind of put a highlight a little bit on some special birthdays before we go to Nkateko to give us a positive note in that, because she's actually a motivational speaker. So it'll be nice to listen to her.
Yes, yes. Relieve me of those duties.
For so many years in Nkateko. But anyway, Al Capone was born today. Who's Al Capone today? Do you know Al Capone?
Come on, man. You see the head.
Where was?
Come on, man.
Where was Al Capone? Al Capone.
Chicago. Cooley. You can do anything with me.
Where was he born?
Now, I don't know where the man was born. He wasn't a gangster when he was born.
Choose a state.
I'm gonna go. Let me think carefully. New Jersey. Let me say New Jersey.
Ah, that's pretty close. Nkateko, where do you think Al Capone was born?
I'm I don't know.
It's in New York. It's in New York. It's in New York. It's in New York.
Nkateko, Al Capone was born in New York. That Barry White. Hey, shout out to Barry White.
It was Barry White's birthday today.
Hey.
Wow.
Can you believe Barry White was born in 1922, Mfethu?
How am I? And let me tell you, the 90s were a beautiful time when that man said, practice what you preach. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Can't get enough of your love, baby.
No, not Barry White. Barry White. Barry White. Golden.
Betty White, man, listen, you threw me off. Well, big shout out to Sister Betty. Those are two totally different people. Barry White. You see, when I want you to notice. Hold on. Oh, cool. And this is how they talk. Manje inokurola kwabo lokho ukuthi thina ngabe ukuthi bathi Barry White kufanele ukuthi Betty White wena uthi Barry White. Hey, unongoma uyakubuka kuyazi uyakubuka uyamangala ukuthi senaba nje emelika.
Befike ngithi Betty.
Yebo. Kanti ukuthi you agree. Uzwedi wena uthi Barry White noma uBarry White.
Makabuye ekhaya.
Yabonga. Akahambe. Hambe ekhaya sokuhlabela mfana wami. Siyokuhlabela inkomo and bring back uBetty. Hayi uBarry White. Ama-model C's.
Anyway, Barry White was born in Illinois, and today is actually a big birthday that the legend. I'm actually glad we got into this because I was going to tell you about this movie that I just saw on Prime. I don't know if you have Prime, which is One Night in Miami.
Don't tell me anything about it. I'm watching it tonight in honor of Martin Luther King. Yes, watching it tonight.
Today is the former Cassius Clay's birthday, Muhammad Ali. Happy birthday, Muhammad.
Happy birthday, Muhammad. And tomorrow, we cannot go without saying it is Martin Luther King Day. So we want to just thank Dr. King and his family and his friends for all the sacrifices.
They gave us, man. They gave us a lot of sacrifice, man.
A lot of sacrifices. And tomorrow is going to be, we pray for the country. There's a lot of protests looming all over 50 states of these United States of America. Nothing will disrupt the memory of Dr. King. So those who have bad intentions for tomorrow, no bad intentions formed against us shall prosper in the name of Jesus. I'm just going to cancel that right now. That's how I go down.
Nice and that. Yeah, let's hope nothing bad happens. But anyway, as we go on, Nkateko, I would like to give you a floor to actually give us a positive note before Ntate close up the show, and we thank everybody. And we will have this thing on YouTube, so it will be available as a no-name show. I don't know if there is a no-name show on YouTube. I'll take a look while Nkateko goes on. But Nkateko, go ahead and give us the positive note, Mama. Let me give you a drum roll. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our producer, who happens to know a little bit about telling people how to get and do it. Nkateko, Emily, Mabasa. Take care of it, Mama.
Thank you, Kuli. That was such a nice intro. I've never had such an intro. I just like to leave with a bit of positivity is that you are able to do anything and everything, and knowing that what we have gone through, we've survived the most. All of us, no one is more special than the next person, and that's why I love what Tata said, that we have Ubuntu, and it's in everyone. You just need to have the mindset to say, I can actually help my neighbor, I can actually help the next person. And yes, sometimes people, you help them, they take advantage, but do not change because somebody took advantage of you. Not everybody is the same, but do not paint everybody with the same brush, is what I'm going to say. And so in our next show, you'll definitely get to see me. And because now it's audio, but I'm just looking forward to working with the two gentlemen and actually giving you guys a great show. So thank you very much. All the way from Africa. I'm out.
That close up the show, my brother.
I would be wrong to try to add too much salt and pepper to what my sister just said because it sounds so great. You've hit us with a lot of great nuggets today. Lover of life, just humanity towards others. So I would just say, my sister, close it out well as we go into this year. It feels like December 45, 2020, but no, we are in 2021. This is not an extension of 2020. So I'm going to just leave everybody with blessings. Blessings means joy, happiness. So blessings upon everybody as we go into this week. And just remember that concept, my sister. I love what Katego just said. I think I'll pick up on that only coolly. Just because somebody is taking advantage of you, do not change your morals and who you are. Just be careful and know how to identify that person next time. But I love that because it means don't give up on humanity. Sometimes that's what happens. Somebody hurts us, somebody takes advantage of us, and then we say, you know what? I'm a cow that eats by myself. I'm gonna just do things my own way. Don't give up. Don't give up on humanity. Ubuntu. And it just goes to show you how strong Africa is. This term is just in any language, it tells you humanity towards others. I am because we are. God bless, good people. We love y'all, man.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What a show. Thank you, Tate. I think we nailed it. Katego 2 was great. Guys, we'll see you next time.
Beautiful.